Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, not because of a bad dream, but because you just had to pee? Or maybe you've noticed that even after sleeping for 7, maybe 8 hours, you still feel foggy, sluggish, or somehow not fully rested the next morning. It's easy to blame it on age, on stress, on just one of those nights. But here's the truth. There's a quiet little culprit that's often overlooked, and that's how we hydrate, or mishydrate, in the evening hours. Now I know by the time you hit your 60s or beyond, you've already heard every piece of advice under the sun. Drink more water, avoid caffeine, limit sugar. Yes, yes, and yes. But what nobody really tells you is this: hydration isn't just about how much you drink. It's about when, what, and how your body uses it. And if you're making some of the most common nighttime hydration mistakes, it could be robbing you of deep sleep, triggering unnecessary bathroom trips, and even raising your risk of things like dizziness, confusion, or fatigue the next day. Let's dig into the first one, because it's something so many people over 60 do with the best intentions. You pour yourself a big glass of water right before bed. Maybe it's your habit. Maybe your doctor told you to stay hydrated. Maybe you're trying to flush out meds or ease dry skin. But here's the problem. Slamming down water right before bed doesn't give your body time to absorb it gently. Instead, what often happens is it moves through your system too fast, pulling you out of deep sleep for an urgent trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m. and again at 4. Sound familiar? And the frustrating part? That kind of broken sleep isn't just annoying. It's actually harmful. You see, the deepest stages of sleep, the ones where your brain restores itself, your memory files away the day, and your body heals, all happen in those long, uninterrupted cycles. If you keep interrupting them to pee, you're stealing that powerful rest from yourself night after night. And what do you get in return? A dry mouth and exhaustion. Not a great trade-off. The fix? Try shifting that last glass of water to earlier in the evening, say around dinner. Give your body 2 to 3 hours to process fluids before bed. And if you're still feeling thirsty close to bedtime, sip something light. A few swallows, not a full glass. Think of it like brushing your teeth. Just enough to stay fresh, but not enough to flood the bathroom all night. And while we're talking about what goes in, let's address another mistake that sneaks in during evening hours. Reaching for the wrong kind of drink altogether. That soothing herbal tea you love? The one labeled caffeine-free that you sip to unwind? Some of those blends still act as diuretics, meaning they make you lose more water than you take in. Same goes for that glass of wine you might enjoy while watching your favorite show. And here's the kicker. Not only do diuretics dehydrate you, they also play games with your sleep cycles. You might fall asleep quickly thanks to that glass of wine, but staying asleep, that's where the trouble starts. So if winding down with a drink is part of your ritual, consider switching to a small cup of warm water with lemon, or a calming, non-diuretic tea like rooibos. You'll stay hydrated and avoid the nighttime disruptions that keep you dragging the next day. Now that we've looked at how timing and choice of drinks can make or break your night's rest, so you've shifted your water intake earlier in the evening, and you've started choosing better bedtime beverages. But there's another sneaky mistake that often goes unnoticed. And this one shows up not just in your bathroom habits, but in how you feel the next day. It's the mistake of thinking you're not thirsty, when your body is actually dehydrated. You see, as we age, our sense of thirst naturally fades. It's not your imagination. That signal, "Hey, I need water," just doesn't ring as loud or as often as it used to. And because of that, many people assume they're fine. I didn't feel thirsty, so I must be hydrated. But that's where the trap lies. Because by the time you actually feel thirsty in your 60s or 70s, your body may already be running low on fluids. You might notice it as dry eyes, tight skin, a slight headache, or just that sluggish, cloudy feeling that's hard to describe but easy to recognize once you've had it. And here's the kicker. You may not link any of those things to hydration. You might think it's aging, or poor sleep, or stress. but often it's just your body quietly saying, "Oh, please, give me water, just a little, and give it consistently." So how do we fix that? One of the easiest tricks is to build gentle hydration into your routine without waiting for thirst. A small glass with breakfast, another with lunch, a cup with dinner, and maybe a light sip during your evening wind down, long before you hit the pillow. The goal isn't to flood your system. It's to keep a steady stream of hydration throughout the day so your body doesn't have to play catch-up at night. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't dump a bucket on it once every 12 hours, you give it little sips. That's what your cells are craving too. Now let's talk about a big one, something almost every senior I know has struggled with at some point, and that's avoiding water altogether in the evening because of fear. Fear of falling, fear of bathroom accidents, fear of getting up and losing balance in the dark. And honestly, that fear is valid. Nighttime falls are no joke. Broken hip, a twisted ankle, it can set you back weeks or worse. But what often happens is that people swing too far the other way. They stop drinking after 4 p.m. They limit fluids so much that by bedtime they're running on empty. And that kind of chronic underhydration, it builds up, it wears you down. It can lead to fatigue, poor digestion, even urinary tract infections that only increase your risk of nighttime emergencies. So instead of cutting fluids completely, it's smarter to pair hydration with strategy. Use nightlights, clear pathways, have a stable grab bar if you need one, and train your body by gradually shifting fluid intake to earlier in the day. That way, you stay hydrated and protected, because the goal isn't to live in fear of the bathroom. It's to support your body so it doesn't have to shout at you in the middle of the night just to be heard. And when you get that balance right, hydration becomes a quiet support system. You sleep better, wake clearer, feel steadier on your feet. It's one of those small shifts that makes a big impact, especially over time. There's a moment in every evening, somewhere between brushing your teeth and fluffing the pillow, when your body is winding down but your mind might still be racing. And in that space, what you don't do matters just as much as what you do, because the third hydration mistake many seniors make isn't about timing, or even about how much water you drink. It's about what you consume that cancels out hydration entirely, without you even realizing it. Let's talk about hidden dehydrators. One of the biggest culprits? Medications. Now, I want to be really clear here. You should never stop or adjust your medications without talking to your doctor. But it's important to know that many common prescriptions, like diuretics for blood pressure, antihistamines for allergies, or certain antidepressants, can act like internal dehydrators. They quietly flush fluids out of your system or block your body's ability to hold onto water effectively. What happens then is subtle. Maybe you wake up with a dry mouth, or your muscles feel crampy. Maybe you just can't seem to shake that sluggishness in the morning, and it doesn't matter how much you sleep. That's your body telling you, "I'm being drained faster than you think." So what can you do? One thing that helps is to create a small hydration buffer around your medication routine, without doing it too close to bedtime. A light cup of water 30-60 minutes before you take the meds, and then again an hour or two before bed, if it won't disrupt your sleep, can gently offset that dehydrating effect. Also, ask your doctor, are any of my medications affecting my hydration levels? It's a powerful question, and sometimes the fix is as simple as adjusting the timing, or supplementing with electrolytes in a way that supports your system rather than overstimulates it. Which brings me to another hidden mistake. And this one is sneaky because it feels like the right thing to do. Drinking plain water, and only plain water all day long. Now don't get me wrong, water is incredible, essential, life-giving. But here's something many people don't realize, especially as we get older. If your electrolyte levels are off, plain water might not be enough. In fact, in some cases, it can make the imbalance worse. Think of your cells like tiny batteries. They need sodium, potassium, magnesium, just the right mix to fire correctly. When you sweat, take certain meds, or simply age, those levels shift. And when you only replace the water but not the minerals, That internal battery doesn't hold a charge. You still feel tired, dizzy, foggy. The solution isn't to chug sports drinks full of sugar. It's to find gentle, senior-friendly options. Maybe it's a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon in your water once a day. Maybe it's a sugar-free electrolyte packet approved by your doctor. The point is, hydration is about more than just liquid. It's about balance. So if you've been doing all the right things and still waking up tired, this could be why small changes, right? But they ripple. They help your body reset. They give you that sense of steadiness and clarity that so many of us crave in the second half of life. Now, the last mistake might surprise you, because it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with hydration at first. In fact, it's often brushed off as just part of getting older. I'm talking about avoiding fluids in the evening altogether, not because you're not thirsty, but because you're trying to avoid getting up to use the bathroom at night. Sound familiar? So many seniors tell me the same thing. If I drink anything after dinner, I'm up at 2 a.m., again at 4 a.m. And yes, poor sleep is a real concern. Interrupted rest takes a toll on your body, your memory, your mood. So it's understandable why this habit starts. But over time, this fear of nighttime urination, what doctors call nocturia, can lead to something bigger: chronic dehydration. Here's the thing: when you underhydrate at night for weeks, months, even years, your body starts adapting. It holds on to fluid in ways that aren't healthy. It slows digestion, thickens your blood. It can even affect brain function, raising your risk of confusion, dizziness, and even falls. And all of this starts showing up in tiny ways, like waking up groggy, feeling stiff, getting lightheaded when you stand, or just not thinking as clearly as you used to. The fix isn't to flood your system right before bed. That'll just make the bathroom issue worse. It's about timing and quality. Hydrate more during the first half of your day. Front-load your water intake. That gives your body time to absorb, circulate, and filter fluids long before you're tucked in under the covers. And if nighttime thirst does strike, because it can, reach for a few small sips, not a full glass. Even just moistening your mouth and lips can help you fall back asleep comfortably, without sending you running down the hallway at 3 a.m. Now, let's touch on something deeper. When we talk about hydration, we're not just talking about water. We're talking about honoring your body, this vessel that's carried you through 6 decades of storms and celebrations. Hydration is one of the most loving things you can do for it. It tells your cells, I'm still with you, I still care, and that care ripples outward. It gives you the energy to say yes to a morning walk, the clarity to remember names and appointments, the vitality to laugh longer, move easier, and feel more at ease in your own skin. So if you've been brushing off these habits, thinking they're too small to matter, think again. These are the things that do matter. These are the quiet decisions that stack up day after day and shape how we age, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. And I want that aging to feel strong, clear, and alive for you. If anything in today's video resonated with you, if you've recognized a habit or two that might be holding you back, just know this: it's never too late to shift, to try something different, to give your body one more tool to thrive. If you found this helpful, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone else who deserves to feel better. And drop a comment below. What's one hydration habit you're going to try or change this week? Here's to feeling better tomorrow by taking one simple step tonight.